This is part 31 of Ocarina of Time 3D. We're going to continue our journey through the Forest Temple, and just kind of to finish the thought that I started.
Well, we're coming at the end of the video, and if we don't actually finish off like the right way, it's a pain like fixing that behind the scenes.
It is. So what I was mentioning though is like Hyrule is such a darker place now that Ganon's in charge.
Yes.
So having like a darker, a spooky dungeon like this to start off as Adult Link, I thought was very appropriate, and it really fit. Like you had said, a great dungeon to start, first dungeon as Adult Link.
Well, a great example of that is in Kokiri Forest, where the children have gone to their houses and they have monsters outside in that area. So, just a good example building up to this, as you said, kind of more darker dungeon for Adult Link.
Yep. I'm not a huge fan of them reusing the Stalfos for like the mini boss fight.
Yes, I agree.
It's like we already fought him once.
That's another thing now I think about. Like this dungeon. Like, the Stalfos don't feel like a mini-boss.
They really don't.
You get an item from it right here, but it doesn't feel like other mini-bosses. Like, it just feels really like an enemy in the dungeon.
It does, and I kind of thought the same way about the Lizalfos back from the Dongo's Cavern we talked about.
Yeah, but that's a child dungeon. It's only the second dungeon in the game, so somewhere like in that dungeon, that actually kind of makes sense, because you're not going to see, like, advanced enemies usually that early in the game, whereas here, I kind of expect it, so...
Yeah, I agree. Like,
this dungeon, if it had a good mini-boss, that could have made it even more better than it already is, so...
I think this was a great time in the game to get the fairy bow.
Go ahead.
Oh, so you have...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's like, we're not quite at, like, the halfway point of the game, but, it seems it's not too early, it's not too late to get the bow, just a really good time to get it.
The guy on Sesame Street that has those like long dreads, looks like a tree.
Yeah,
it looks like a tree. That should be the mini boss.
I was wondering what popped into your head.
I wish that image of that is Sesame Street, right?
I think so.
Where he's got that huge mouth. He like runs at you. He's got like his like he looks like a tree. That's like exactly what I thought of right there.
Now that would be a fun mini boss.
We have a Monsters Inc. boss in Sandship, so why can't we have a Sesame Street character in the Forest Temple?
Oh, don't get me started on the...
That just clicked, like, it clicked right away. I wanted to let you finish your thought, and yes, I actually do agree with you on the bow.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we get too early, sometimes I think we get too late. Skyward Sword Sandship would be an example of that.
Yeah, that's way too late.
I think it was just right here where it was at.
Now, I love the idea of shooting the portraits to make these Poes, or to make the Poe finally appear. But the actual fight itself is kind of boring, kind of easy.
And you got to do it, 3 times. We'll have to do it 3 times.
With the jump attack,
The fourth one's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But, like, I think the jump attack, I randomly, like, hit the jump attack button every once in a while. Like, those 3DS buttons, they're kind of close together. So it's kind of hard when you're recording sometimes. But I think the jump attack is so much quicker than using the arrows right here.
Plus, I mean, the jump attack does twice the damage of the arrow, if I'm not mistaken.
I think I don't know if it does twice.
It may not be exactly twice.
But, because I think you got to hit the Poe maybe 4 or 5 times with an arrow.
Yeah.
And I think it was 3 times with the jump attack, so...
It's tougher to time with the jump attack because he starts that spin.
Yeah.
Where you can't hit him. Whereas if you have the bow, you can stay away from him.
Yeah.
But it is quicker, I agree, to just use the jump attack.
That's the first time I actually used it, was right there.
It worked.
And I love these stair rooms, kind of going back to the first part of the detail of the dungeon. Like, these stair rooms, they just have a lot of vegetation in them. And really made these two. We'll see one on the other. Or actually, have we already? I think we'll see one right here too.
We do. Yeah.
Like, just I don't know. These rooms really looked foresty to me.
They do. Just having like these overgrown vines on the sides and stuff. And, we've mentioned earlier, like we liked when we were out in the courtyard.
Yeah.
And you had the color and the forest look to it.
Yeah.
Like being in here and seeing just how overgrown this place is. You've got cobwebs in the corners.
Yes.
I mean, it just.
But there's randomly paintings here.
Yeah.
Like, you got vegetation everywhere. There's really nothing here except for some symbols, like down the sewers. And then, but we're going to leave these 3 paintings right here for whatever reason.
Hey, the Poe's got to live somewhere, right?
Well, there's 3 paintings, though.
Yeah.
And there's only 1 Poe.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
We do see some paintings later on during the boss fight.
Actually, and we see some paintings in the hallway before the boss fight.
We do.
Which I think is a great little detail. Just like a random hallway before the boss room.
And we'll talk about that a little more.
I didn't look at them on this playthrough, but like behind the scenes, while I was practicing, I looked at them, and they're actually pretty cool paintings. I can't tell you what they're of. I completely forgot what they're of.
Hey,
so.
Link needs to take some time from saving the world to enjoy the art a little bit.
That's true. Oh, I definitely agree. Just when you're recording, you can't really do that.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Another nice little touch that I'm pretty sure the 64 version had this as well. But when you kill those Poes and just the light goes to those torches, like I just think it's such a simple little little thing. But like the torch being like out, and then you kill the Poe and his fire goes right to that torch and lights it up. I just think it looks cool. It's not something huge, but it's just a little touch that I really like.
And then we'll also see later on it all come together, which like kind of goes a little bit along with what you're saying right there. So okay, and we twist this cord. Like I've honestly not been paying that much attention to the screen the whole time I've been talking.
No,
so
I mean we could talk about this dungeon.
Okay, we have not. Okay, this is actually the first time we twisted right here. And we talked about like how I really love this concept because it really presents a new layout for the dungeon. Like it doesn't. It kind of in a way feels like a new dungeon, like a little section of it at least. So I don't know. I just always love when layouts change in dungeons. A good example of that also is a Stone Tower Temple,
which we're also very fond of.
Definitely. But that's also way up there.
Yeah, just the visual though of like they zoom in all the way down the hallway,
I love
then it like untwists and zooms back out.
I do love that little visual right there.
It really is. It's just a little cinematic that just it feels so cool, and the way that the rooms at the end of it have flip flop now.
This is how I feel. I'm sober. Yeah, and the twisted corridor is how I feel when I'm like had a little bit too much to drink.
Remember my first trip to Chicago, just bouncing down the hallway.
Yes, I do remember that.
Oh, that's what that
was the twisted corridor to Force Temple right there.
That was a twisted corridor for me. That was a rough one.
Nobody's going to understand that example but us two, but that was like a perfect example right there.
Yeah, we talk about drinking beer and stuff. That was a long night. That was a long night of drinking beer.
I like how these blue bubbles right here actually. I don't think any of the bubbles in this game curse you.
No, they don't.
Okay, I didn't think it did.
Thankfully.
I actually do like that because in Majora's Mask they made it where you had to play like the Song of Storms to get, to get the curse away. I don't know. I just hate when I can't use my weapons. That's just frustrating to me. Especially like we're offensive guys when it comes to Zelda. Like when you take my weapons from me, like I almost just want to quit playing. So.
I know. It's even worse, I think, in Wind Waker. Because, especially that Earth Temple that has so many of those cursed bubbles.
Oh, yes, it does.
It's just such a pain.
We hate the Earth Temple, period.
Well, if you want to check out our top 8 worst Zelda
don't tell them that, because that's been one that's gotten the most hate of all of our videos, and a lot of that reason is because of the Earth Temple being on there from Wind Waker.
Man, people take it personally when you don't like their dungeons.
It's just opinion. Now, why is there a random floor master like in this room right here?
This room doesn't make any sense.
He should have a leash. Yeah, like I don't know. Like if he would have had a leash, it would have added to it a little bit. I think.
Like he's like chained to the floor.
He's just chilling out in here.
Yeah. What do we get for this?
He's like, I dominate this corner. You know.
I mean, you
wouldn't even room a key, I believe.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah. So you wouldn't even know to come to this room. You know, you look on your map though, and you see, there's a treasure chest there. I need to go check it out because there's no other way in or out. It's just this one little side room up on this upper level. So.
Man, this first time playing this dungeon, like I kept on seeing that area right there. And this dungeon, I mean, we've played through it so many times.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that confusing to us. But I remember the first time, this dungeon can actually get quite confusing, especially compared to the first 3 in the game.
Which were very straightforward.
I remember looking up that walkway right there. I almost forgot where I was even going with that comment. Like, I just remember looking up at that and being like, how in the world do you even get there?
And it's weird to think of this dungeon being confusing because if you just look at the map, it's very symmetric. Like the two sides are just very similar. But man,
twisted corridors. It's those twisted corridors. It like changes the whole layout.
Yep. You mentioned this earlier.
That
little rope.
Yes, I don't know why. Just a little detail, but it's in the original version also.
It is.
But I don't know why, but for some reason, I just love that rope right there. We'll actually see it later on in the dungeon, too.
We do, but it's like, at this point, I'm pretty sure it's the only time we've seen it. And it's just, like, just a little felt rope. I mean,
it's just like, simple things that for some reason you like, and you can't really sit there and explain it. Well, why do you like it so much? I don't know.
It stands out.
It's just a good detail, I think, that makes it look more... It makes this dungeon look more professional and more adult, I guess.
Well, it also kind of goes along with, like, the paintings we saw. It's a remnant of, when somebody used to live here. Or
that's a very good point, actually. Yeah, royalty, or used to be a fort, or something like
just
that.
Something. So
a very good point right there.
Something else left behind.
Yes,
along with the 6 random paintings.
Yes. Well, there's more than that in this dungeon, so they preserve the paintings.
They do. They do.
Who cares about everything else? They got vines. Now, how did the vines not grow over the paintings either?
I don't know. I mean, the paintings may have been an illusion though, because once you hit them with your sword,
that's it. Because they weren't right there.
Yeah,
we just walked back down. That's a very good point, actually.
So maybe it's just a trick.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Something to think about. We're just blowing your
So
mind.
it's like every time you play through the game or commentate a certain part, like there's always new stuff that, well, no, I shouldn't say.
Not always.
But like that's a very good point. Like there's no paintings here anymore, so it had to be an illusion.
And like just going through these dungeons again, like we said, we've gone through this one so darn many times.
Yeah, we have.
It's just you always find.
It's getting hard to talk about it.
I know.
It's one of our favorite dungeons, and we're sitting here in the second part of it, like I don't know what else we're going to say about this dungeon.
Plus, we try to sit here and think about what have we talked about before. Was it in this video or was it in a different video?
I know that's the first time I've actually ever missed that ledge right there trying to jump to it. But anyways, that'll go ahead and wrap up part 31 of Ocarina of Time 3D.